Morning Legends and Super Legends. It's a little after 6:30 here. Paul's out of town, so he's not riding today. And there's rain in the area. As you can see, the ground's wet. It's been raining on and off. I've got my mud guards on as usual, but I didn't cover my shoes because I really like the visibility of these shoes, so I'm going to kind of go with it. My feet don't really get too wet on these kind of days where the rain is kind of scattered showers and so forth. So I don't know if there'll be a group riding today because Mo is out of town, and we'll see who's there. If nobody's there, I'm doing the ride solo and taking you guys along with me. You can see this part of the pavement is dry. It's been raining on and off all night. Right now it's not raining, of course. Temperature's nice. Feels very comfortable. But have to keep my appointment. Look at that sky. Let me see if this thing would pick it up. A lot of thunder showers. Look at that. So there will probably be rain most likely. But the biggest place you get wet from are your front wheel and your rear wheel. So long as those are protected, you're good to go. I'll turn on my light. Turn on my front light.
I actually got wet on the way to the meeting place for the ride start. It rained, showers.
Got everything going. Rolling. So you gotta stick to the plan. Whatever you're planning on doing, don't let the weather stop you unless it's unsafe. So it was thundering this morning and even yesterday. So we have a lot of unstable weather in the area. But right now it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's actually nice. It feels like it's in the low 20s Celsius. It's probably about 70 to 73 degrees Fahrenheit, thereabouts, I'm estimating. Should be an interesting ride. Either way, with or without somebody, I'm gonna try to do at least 5 hours. This is the day for the hard men.
On this ride, I left Northampton. I rode into the woodlands. On the way, I got rained on. I got to the Ashland YMCA, picked up the group. We headed out. It was a small turnout, but then we got slammed with rain on Fishcreek. I went ahead and let the group go because the spray was just unbearable, and I didn't want to get all dirty from the spray from the other riders. So I rode into Lake Conroe by myself, and on the way back I passed some of the riders that had actually decided to go east after they detoured to Taco Corner. Well, I rode up 149 through the forest there to 149 back into Montgomery and came back through the Great Lake Estates down to Keenan Cutoff Road. I filmed when I got back into the woodlands, and so got a few clips, and it wasn't exactly a full-blown speed workout. Most of the heavy hitters were out of town, but it was an okay workout, and got to do it all over again on Sunday. Hope you all enjoy the clips.
Not a big turnout. Weather. Look at the weather. Look at the sky.
So we're just leaving the Y right here.
We got 3 people here today.
Ashland Y.
Listen up.
We'll have a few people that will show up. There's one guy on the left.
Somebody coming to join us? All right.
There's a guy on the left. He's going to do a U-turn and join us. There he is. And we'll pick up a couple of other people. Jesus.
I didn't get your name, buddy. What's your name? David, I'm Eldred. Yeah, we met. Yeah.
David is the guy a few weeks ago with the white jersey that was saying, I resemble that remark when I said crazy fast guy.
Well, you got rubber under you, man.
He's one of the hammerheads. Yeah, the guy who just joined us worried about, he said he saw lightning flash.
Is it bike carbon?
So David asked him, is your bike carbon? What's your bike made of? Is it a lightning rod or is it carbon? And so I told him, you got rubber on you, you're okay. There's some lightning flashes. You will see some in a little bit. We were a bit concerned, but it wasn't anything organized.
Cycle light, that's really cool.
Yeah, he's got the cycle light, one of them. You can tell by the way it dances. So Jerry, Mo, Fabian, I believe, and Asana are all in California. They went there for the week.
Did you see that lightning?
They're riding in Malibu area there.
There we go.
That's another
There
rider
you go.
there. That's Jesus and another guy. I think
All
it's
the
Peter.
diehards.
Yeah, Jesus and Peter.
The hard men are out.
I had met Peter a while back. I rode with him and Richard. And you'll hear me in a while, a few kilometers, go up to him and just verify that he is the person I think he is. So it's dark right now, but in a couple of hours it clears up pretty much. There's rain in the area. I got rained on, but it's such a warm morning. Cleaning the lens. It's such a warm morning that it's actually better not to have a rain cape on because your jersey dries up quickly with the air blowing, and on a warm morning you're better off because the rain stuff will make you get kind of hot.
All the sugar and
That's
salt
Peter.
people stayed home.
That's all the salt and sugar people that stay home. Jesus laughed. Jesus and I rode on Sunday after this ride as well. I think Richard was there on Sunday. That's Peter on the left. I had ridden with he and Richard. Richard is Ashley's dad. Ashley has ridden with us a few weeks ago. I was chatting about her and how smooth she looks on her bike. So basically 6 of us. And the group ends up breaking up. We had discussed going east towards Lake Conroe, Longmire Road. But then the storm just got heavier and heavier. And so after I let them go, they went west. They detoured to Taco Corner. But I went ahead and did the original route.
See how it's clear over there? We think northwest would be good. Same area. I think the rain is here.
Susan's asking what route we're going to do.
Gosling.
In a little bit, I freeze the frame. Look at the lightning.
Look at that lightning. The creek side. Then it stopped.
And so I was like, okay.
Yeah, so
It had rumble, little thunder, and then got the lightning. But after that, we didn't see any more, and we're headed where it's clearing.
Yeah.
So we're hedging our bets there.
2 hours, yeah.
But, we got rubber tires on the road. We figure we're not going to be conducting anything.
Exactly.
Not like the guy in the movie The Great Outdoors that was struck by lightning 66 times.
It's nice and cool right now.
Not going to be that unlucky.
This is nice.
It is nice and cool. You see, it's 20
August,
Celsius.
This is August 1st.
That's 70 degrees
like May.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
This is this is May weather.
This is nice for
April,
August.
May. This is
Really?
nice. August 1st. Wow.
Yeah, we can do Longmire. That would be a good. We got out where the storm will be gone by the time we come back.
So we're hoping that going
2 hours.
northeast, that's what Longmire is. That's the route Paul and I did where we got the 15% climb. And they're saying that let's do Longmire.
We go east, and then by the time we're coming back, he says Longmire, where 105 to, east. Yeah.
So we go back, that's going to Lake Conroe.
You see the sun out there?
So we're trying to revise the route to try to ride around the rain. We weren't very successful because the rain is, you see up there, look at the clouds, the rain is coming south and we're headed north.
Let's go east.
So we figure we're gonna, if we're fortunate enough to miss it, we can go east, and by the time it passes, we'll come back west.
Discussing the route.
So we're heading on Branch Crossing, and this will take us out to research first so we can get out on Fishcreek and try to
discussing the route. So we're gonna go east to avoid the storm. It's supposed to clear. You see the sky? The storm is northwest. So we're going to go east, then go north, and then head west.
Well, we're hoping that we'd miss the storm before it got to 105, but that was not the case. By the time we hit Fishcreek, it had already come south of 105, because we're planning on going east on 105.
Good morning.
And dodge it that
How are
way.
you?
That, I'm talking to Peter.
Eldred.
He asked me for my name, and I told him, I said, I've ridden with you
Peter,
before.
yeah, I remember you. I rode with you in Richard one time. Yeah, in Great Hills, Great Lake Estates. On Sunday, we came back together with Richard. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I think, we came back together. We were talking about Richard, and he said that Richard hadn't been able to make the Saturday rides, scheduling.
Okay.
That's Peter right there. Peter lives in the woodlands. I've seen him a few times when I was out just riding around during the week. It's always out there.
That's why I like the idea of going east and coming back. By the time we come back,
so we're hoping to miss it, but it didn't work out. But I didn't let it interfere with my plans. I just went ahead. It's no fun riding with unprotected rear wheels in the rain. You get a face full. You guys will see I end up taking off my glasses because they got covered. And then after that, I just decided I would let them go. I was holding about 38 kilometers an hour behind them, almost 25 miles an hour out of the draft. And he said, man, I'm not going to work this hard for the whole ride. I have a long day of riding. So I told them, guys, I'm going to get out of there. They ended up slowing down a little bit. Jesus was telling me on Sunday, and then they changed the plans. They detoured to Taco Corner because they thought the storm wasn't going to let up. So I went east. I didn't care. It's a warm morning. It's about 70 Fahrenheit, so you don't feel cold when you get wet on a day like this. And really, my jersey got a little damp, but you're moving so much that the kind of jerseys we wear, it dries quickly. So on a warm morning, you don't really need rain gear per se to cover your torso. It's during the winter. If it's 10 Celsius or less, 50 degrees or less, you can get cold. But when it's warm, it feels actually good when you get wet. And my shorts did not get wet. My shoes were a little damp. But other than that, no. So you will see I ended up riding almost 6 hours. So the word is Asana, Moo, Jerry, and Fabian are all in California for the week, just riding the hills and the mountains out there. So that's Doug in the front with the dark red jersey, and that's Dave on the left. So Dave and Doug end up going further than the rest of the group did after they detoured and went to Taco Corner. I think the rest of these guys came back, these three guys, Dave here and Doug up there. I saw them, and you will see in the clips, when I was heading west from the lake, they were going east. So they were trying to get some more Ks in. And by that time, the storm had passed. I'll go ahead and ride up to sit next to Doug up here. Then they started talking about, they're trying to take in dibs who's going to follow me. I said, no, David already said in the parking lot, he wanted to be on my wheel because I have mud guards. And then Doug had said he wanted to be on my wheel.
Good idea to go east. slides there. Interesting. He's already got.
They're talking about which one of them will follow my wheel. That's that David already has dibs. And then Doug is next, you know. And so Doug says, you can come to the front.
There you go.
Doug said, you can come to the front. There's no draft. I mean, there's no spray there. You can sit at the front.
At the front.
These guys. Yeah, it would have been cool if everybody had mud guards, because we would have been able to stay together. Because the group ended up breaking up. Once I pulled out, they slowed down, and then they decided they were going to go to Taco Corner because the storm was just picking up. And you know, Jesus told me on Sunday, because I rode with Jesus on Sunday. And so I decided I'm better off riding by myself, because I was getting so much spray. You get the grit in your face, your eyes, because I had to take off my sunglasses. You can't see anything. That's what we need. We need an invention of windshield washers for our sunglasses, like wipers, to wipe the glasses automatically as we ride. That would be something. You can see the drizzle on my head unit.
Everywhere.
There's rain everywhere. It's raining in different spots. So we ride like this because even though the road's quiet, we have 2 lanes. You can see some of the guys are on the shoulder. I'm on the main lane, but this is where we use a smaller piece of the lane. You know, so it's still, you're not taking up the whole ride. I mean, you can if you want to. You have the right to do that. I like to be on the road as much as possible, especially when it's wet. There's less stuff to stick to your tire. So there's rain everywhere. I mean, you know, when I hit the road, as soon as I left my house, like within 3 minutes, the rain just came down on Rayford to Goslin. It just rained. You know, didn't feel too bad, but I was like, man, maybe I should have brought a jacket. But I'm glad I didn't, because it's a warm morning. The jersey dries off so quickly, you can't even tell.
Weird thing though, West looks clear now. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I saw sparks.
So our concern is, okay, where is this rain? We're trying to dodge the rain as much as possible. We just were not very successful. Because when you have showers and thunderstorms,
I'll take this.
you can sometimes ride around them.
You got them?
Because it's not raining everywhere at once.
Actually, what I found when riding the rain, the roads are clear, there's fewer cars. People don't want to go out.
That's Dave back there, David. So he and Doug did more kilometers than the rest of those guys because they wanted more after they detoured.
Hard to sit at the front. We'll just follow you.
Yeah, somebody said they want to go fast, and Doug says, I'm not going any fast. I'm not Fabiano Mo. You want to go fast, come at the front. Doug says, come to the front if you want to go fast. So all that talk after the light here, David takes off.
Like you said, come to the front. We'll just slip in.
We'll just follow you. Get to the front, sit there. We'll let you go to your heart's content.
Yeah, I think we'll miss it because it's clearing of where we're headed.
We're hoping we'll miss it.
South.
That was
A
the
little rain
plan.
will toughen you up, man.
I don't mind the rain. It's just that spray from the other riders. It's not fun riding the group. There's another gentleman, Doug's brother, his name is Greg. Greg does not like to ride with the group when it's raining either, for the same reason. It's just trickier and it's just messier, you know. And what they ended up trying to do is, I don't know if we get to see that. I think I filmed a little bit of that. Peter was trying to get them to stagger, because you can't follow somebody directly in the rain. It's too much spray. So you got to sit to one side or the
It
other.
doesn't last.
And you see all the clouds. If it's raining, we're just not aware that we're heading right into it.
Yeah, but not
It doesn't look as menacing. But the materials that our jerseys are made of is actually perfect for water being on. Like in the summer, I'll spray my jersey when it's really hot, and just the cooling effect of the wind going across your body cools you off. So on a warm day when you get rained on, you actually welcome it. So in a little bit, David takes off. I think it's right here. He just starts to go fast, and so we ride away from the other three guys. And I'm thinking this group is too small for this. So I notice they're going harder here, so I'll ride up. I just kind of rev up whatever gear I'm in, and I get closer to Doug here. And we're doing almost 25 miles an hour, just out the gate, and we're just rolling along. And that's how these guys are used to riding, so they're just accustomed to putting their head down. The Doug's backing off a little bit. I don't know if we're turning here or whether we're going to go straight. David just keeps going. So then we'll ride back up to him. The other guys are taking their time. They're coming up. This is where we turn. And when the road's wet, try to keep your bike as upright as possible. Don't go get crazy leaning too much. You need more rubber on the road. We're not sure what David is doing, but we're just going to take our time, ride up to him. We'll get on Fishcreek, and then the group will kind of get going. So since my buddy Paul is out of town this week, he wasn't able to participate. I ended up doing almost 5.5 hours solo. Because I think I only rode with these guys for maybe half an hour. Because I rode about an hour to get to the right start. So we hit Fishcreek. We're in the open area, open road. This is where the riding begins. I just put it in like a 53.17 or 53.16, something like that. I'm probably in the 16 or 53.16 right here. I didn't do too much shifting. The road is pretty flat, or a few slopes, nothing drastic. So I figured I would just hold a steady pace, so I can concentrate on getting some clean shots. Jesus was telling me on Sunday, he said, I don't know how you ride with a camera in your hand. I said, well, you get used to it. We get that a lot. Yeah, you have to work. You have to work harder because it takes away from your concentration on riding alone. But after a while, you get used to it. it's really not too much of a distraction. I'm right at sweet spot almost, top of zone 3. So we're doing about 25, 26 miles an hour. This is the reason why you can't gauge it by speed, because the conditions are ripe in that. Really, I'm in zone 3 and we're doing, say, let's say 40 kilometers an hour, let's say 25. A lot of times in zone 3 solo, depending on the terrain and the situation, I'll probably be doing about 28 kilometers an hour, more like 20 miles an hour, 18 to 20 miles an hour. So it's just a matter of focusing on your zones and your effort, because in the group you will always travel faster because somebody's punching a hole in the wind for you, and the dynamics are different. It's one of the main benefits of riding in the group. You just travel faster for sometimes the same effort in the same situation. And the more riders you have, the more organized the group is, the faster you guys will travel. On Sunday, we averaged almost 28 kilometers an hour. The wind is blowing in our face right now because that storm is coming south. It may look clear, but in about a kilometer, the rain comes down in its full fury. For 2 weeks in a row, we get to film in the rain for a bit. I'm sitting on Jose's left, just on the white line. I had looked behind. There was no car or anything coming, so I just stayed right on the white line. Give me more visibility and a good shot. So Dave is pulling, and I believe Peter is on his wheel, and then Doug, then Jesus, myself. The other guys that's behind me, I didn't get his name. The one who was worried about the lightning, and we were kind of laughing. And when David said, "What's your bike made of?" What's your bike made out of? Isn't your bike carbon? So at this speed with this terrain, I'm in zone 2, pretty much at the top of zone 2. So another benefit of the group. Now, if you look at this road, Fishcreek is going up. You can just see it in the distance. It's not drastic right here. It might be 1 to 2% of that. But the entire time you're on Fishcreek, you're going up. You know, the rollers, but generally you're gaining elevation. That's why I love going north. You work harder. There's the rain coming. We got the big drops, and then the sky's open. I don't remember if the raindrops stayed too long, but I decided to just kind of leave it there so you all can just experience what we did. This is David pulling off the front. And you can see how close we're passing next to each other. I'm staying really close on Jesus's wheel. It's raining more and more. It's not hitting the camera much, but it's coming down. In a little while, the road, it's raining ahead of us. We're actually riding into the rain. And when we get further out, the roads are already just wet. And then the spray is everywhere. Look at Doug's wheel in front of Jesus. You can see the water. So it may not be raining heavily on us, but it's been raining here. So I'm staying a little to the left so that not too much of the spray gets on the camera or my kit or in my face, because my glasses are getting full of water droplets to where you really can't see very well. And we're in the rain. Peter's up there working. So Peter's pulling off the front. Doug takes over. And it's just getting messier and messier. Look at the road surface. It's been raining here before we got here. And I just periodically try to wipe the lens. I'm not looking at it or anything, but I figure with all this rain and water, and then I can't see. I don't know if this is the light that changes. Yeah, right here. So in a little while, I'm going to let them go because we got water all over the road. I go ahead and take off my glasses here. My rear wheel slipped on that white.
That's the white line.
The white line when I was stopping.
Hit the white line.
It just twitched a little bit. Now go ahead and take off my glasses because I can't see anything. The spray from the rider's wheels are on my glasses. And I'm thinking right now, I'm like, okay, I don't really want to get all sprayed out and messed up. I'm going to be out here all day. So the takeoff, and I'm getting up to speed. David and I are back here. You'll see David come by in a little bit. Because I don't want to get behind anybody at this point. I decide I'm just going to ride out of the spray. But then they're going so fast, and I'm like, okay, look at the speeds. So I'm doing about 38 kilometers an hour, almost 25, about 23, 24 miles an hour. I'm right to the left of David. I'm going to ride up to them, and then I'm going to tell David, you know what? I'm just going to do my own thing. You can't really see the rooster tail, but there were literally rooster tails from their wheels. Look at the water on the road. Everything, they're being sprayed. You would see Peter on the right there. He would try to tell them. See him move over to the left? He's trying to tell them to stagger. And this is why you hear me. Yeah, I'm telling David. I said, you guys go ahead with your rooster tail. I'm staying out of the spray. So I let David know. I don't want them waiting on me or anything. Because I just decided I'm going to do the route. I know it's going to clear up. If you look ahead, I don't know if the camera shows it very well. We can tell that it's clearing up north. But right now it's just a mess. So I just back off slightly and just decide to do my own thing and let them go. Because right now they're not even really, you can see they're not following each other very well because nobody likes that. You see how they spread out across the road? I just didn't want to deal with that spray. Because you get grit and sand on your face, in your mouth, if you're breathing through your mouth. It's just a mess.
Hey legends, the rain has passed. I pulled out of the group because just the spray. I couldn't see, so I took off my glasses, but then there was grit on my face, getting in your mouth, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to get all dirty. And now the rain has passed. I'm doing the same route they did, what they're doing. Maybe I'll catch up to them, I don't know.
At this point, I didn't know that they had changed the route. When the rain was pounding them, they decided to go to Taco Corner. So they did not do this route.
Little Egypt road we have up here.
Yeah, so I turned here.
Catch up to them.
I'm thinking they would have stuck with the route, but
for about another 4 hours or so. Sticking to the plan. It's just hard. I did a lot of competing where I had to ride the ring. It's very messy, and I'm just sick of riding in spray like that. So I told Dave I'm staying out at Rooster Tail, and once I backed off, it didn't make sense to expend that much energy trying to hold their pace because the group has the advantage. So I backed off a bit and settled into my pace at zone 2 and just kept it going. And I went ahead and I did the 15% climb, took that cut through that neighborhood that we've done before. So I hope y'all can hear me because it's very windy out here. But it's 66 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like 15 Celsius. And for August 1st, that is just incredible. So yeah, I'll take the rain.
so they did not do this route. They basically took a shorter route and went to Taco Corner. And in a few kilometers, you will see me as I'm going west.
Watch these white lines, they're very slippery.
Yeah, the white lines are like ice. So you gotta be careful when you turn on them.
You have to do everything more cautiously in the wet. It is slippery, so you can't be doing drastic leaning of the bike and all that kind of stuff. You gotta keep the bike upright.
Take wider turns, smoother arcs, you know.
All right, legends, rain has passed. Our idea to head north was smart because the rain was heading south. So the rain is south of us. We got right follow mode. You can see the rain clouds now on my left. So the rain has left the north. And if you look at the north, beautiful.
I'm heading towards the lake here, Lake Conroe.
I'm about to cross the lake here. It's the biggest expanse of the lake. And I'm glad I let those guys go because I would have been really messy if I hadn't.
Yeah, they ended up breaking up because I ended up passing two of them in a few kilometers heading the opposite way on this road. Doug and David, they want to get more kilometers in, so they're headed out. The other guys probably went right back from Taco Corner because they're still in the rain because the rain is going south. And unless you came further north, you didn't get out of it right away.
You can see because of my mud guards, I rode in heavy rain as you saw. My shoes are clean. You know, that's the difference. So following other cyclists that are spraying you, you get mud, dirt, grit in your face, and it's just a mess.
Yeah, I think that it's a wise idea to somehow keep the spray down because it's hard to follow people in the wet. And even when we competed, racing was harder in the wet. Not everybody likes to deal with that. So, and there's no reason for me to come and get all messed up.
Always the wind's picking up as we approach the water.
Get all messy from dirty water, you know, the spray. The spray is just annoying. Let's put it that way. And this is the lake. It's beautiful. People are out here fishing. So the rain must have passed here a long time ago. We're about 60 kilometers north. So about 42 miles or so north of where we started. So you can see the rain to the left. There's somebody sitting on the boat there fishing.
It's just beautiful here. It's always beautiful. Look at that.
Look at that sky.
Lake Conroe.
Yeah, you see the rain there.
Conroe, Texas.
Raining in town, in the city. It's probably raining in the woodlands right now at this point. So I'm headed west here. When I cross the lake, I will see Doug and David coming the opposite way. They were the only two that continued further north from Taco Corner. I didn't realize they had gone to Taco Corner. This was the route we were supposed to do. Guys fishing down there. I always like coming out here because not only is it challenging as far as the terrain, but you have really wide shoulders and the roads are not heavily traveled usually, unless it's a holiday weekend or something. But, but with the pandemic, everything has changed. The roads are sparsely populated pretty much most of the time compared to what they used to be like,
I got some of the grit in my eye from the.
Yeah, it took a while for me to clear all that
Try
stuff.
to rinse it out. It's still there.
Once I get that out of my eye, I end up putting on my glasses again because now it's dry. It's going to stay dry. The rain has really moved south. I mean, look north. So it's southeast is where the rain is headed. Behind me is east, and to the left is south. You can see it.
I need to design some windshield wipers for our sunglasses. Now, that would be cool. I had to take them off in the group because I couldn't see.
I mean, when we used to compete, you had a reason to hang in there, but, you kept your glasses on, you did the best you could, but at some point you had to take them off anyway because you just couldn't see. But, you hung in there, whatever your goal was that you were trying to accomplish, but on these little social group rides per se, it's kind of like a mute point to come out and get all the muck all on your body. So I think that, like in the UK, everybody should slip mud guards on.
You can see the storm down there. That's what we rode through.
Yep.
It's probably raining where we live now.
Yep. That's the way the storm is moving.
60 kilometers north of where we started. About 40-some miles north. So the storm has passed. You can see, if you look at the sky, where it begins. And then look at it clear. It's going to be beautiful the rest of the week. Some kind of a front that blew in. Keep the temperatures reasonable. It's right at 21 Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This is August. Very unusual.
Yeah, I'll take it because usually it's not uncommon to be at 100 degrees Fahrenheit in August. So this summer has been very mild.
This bridge is probably 1.5 miles or so long. I've got to really measure it the next time I come through here.
Yeah, I've got to clock it. This is a long bridge. But on a clear day, you can see clear across. So you can see the end of it. And you can see the road going up once you leave the bridge. Up into the trees there. Everything out here is up and down. So you come north, you gotta have your climbing legs.
So you can park your boat right there. Don't have to be hauling it around.
Yeah, I'm talking about those houses by the water. Like, if you own a boat, it'd be great if you can afford one of those houses by the water. That'd be perfect because you have your own private dock instead of the hassle of hauling your boat around.
Let's look at it fishing right now.
There's a couple of guys in this little cove here by a little dock fishing. Yeah, I get a good shot at them. If that's close enough, you can see them casting their lines.
Casting a line. So if it's raining a lot, you're better off riding alone or riding with riders that have mud guards. Otherwise, it's not a whole lot of fun.
That's why Paul and I got the mud guards. We head out in the rain, no worries. We ride for hours. We're not spraying each other. Just a few seconds to put on, you're good to go. So I'm off the bridge here. This is all Montgomery County. We're headed west. So as I approach this intersection, I make sure to make eye contact with this guy. As he pulls out, he stops, but I'm watching him. He sees me, and I continue. I always keep my eye out on the driver, on the front left tire facing me, because that's the first thing that will move. Anything that can cross my path, I keep my eye on it. I think it's after this light that I spot those two guys, David and Doug. They're heading east. This light is usually not very long. There you go, green up. So I clip in and I spot the two cyclists coming. The camera really doesn't pick them up yet. They're on that little, next to the guardrail. Right there, you will see them. I freeze it right there. Doug waves, Dave waves, and I see them. So that's when I realized they must have gone to Taco Corner. There aren't too many choices of routes.
Those are two of the guys that I was riding with. They're headed north. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're headed the opposite direction. I thought it would come from the other way.
So they went north, and then they're going east now.
Dave and Doug. I told Dave I was pulling out because of the spray.
Yeah, so they want to get more kilometers. That told me the other guys must have turned back around, so because they were still in the storm.
It's a lovely day now. I mean, not that it wasn't lovely before, it's just more challenging with the rain. It looks like the group broke up. I don't know what they did, but they must have gone west on 105 and probably went to Taco Corner.
That's exactly what they did.
All right, legends. This is why you never give up. Look at this day.
We're back in the woodlands here.
I never believe the way it started.
On Flint Ridge Drive,
Because when
south.
I started, I left the house. It was a little damp. When I hit the road, I got rained on for the first 10 minutes. Then I met the boys, as you all by this time have seen on film. We rode and the rain just kept picking up, so I had to let them go because I didn't want to get sprayed. And I ended up seeing two of them because they must have changed the route. They probably went to Taco Corner because they were heading east when I was coming west on 1097. So I went ahead and salvaged the ride. It's a little over 5 hours, 5.25 hours into the ride. And look at this day. It's beautiful. There's storms in the air, you can see ahead. But it's not raining here. It's been raining in different spots. The mud guards did their job, of course. Nice and clean and dry. These shoes are good because they're dried, even though they got wet. Whatever material they're made of, it's not leather. It's some kind of microfiber. They resist getting wet quite a bit.
We're wrapping up this ride. 5.25 hours into it. And I'm glad that I pulled out of there because it took me a while to clean out the grit from my eyes after I removed my shades and stuff. When the spray in that stretch before I let them go. So if I had stayed longer, it would have been just more challenging, more things to deal with. It's just too messy following riders
I see a lot of cyclists today.
in the wet. Yeah, there aren't too many people riding today.
They park right here. Parks all over the place.
That's why I put the arrows, a little park right there. People park there and they go hiking or mountain biking. You know, there are trails out there.
It's a little slope, 2%.
Smokey hiding on the left to catch speeders. So the woodlands have their own police
But
force.
I had to keep this appointment because this week was very hectic. I didn't get to ride much because besides being busy, the weather did not cooperate. We had thunderstorms all throughout the week. And even when we're riding today, there was lightning in the area. I was a bit concerned, but it didn't develop into anything. It was a bit of thunder. You may even hear it on film by this point. But overall, I salvaged the ride. I went through the forest and got a good workout. It's not as much fun as what happened before we're here, but you still got to get out, get your K's in place. The main protagonists for WCC I learned are out of town. Bo, Jerry, Fabian, and I believe that's the three of them. They're in California.
I think Asana went with them as well. Jerry's from the area, so he may be hosting them or something. I'm sure they worked something out, but they've been riding, you know, Malibu and different places out there, different hills, and one of the rides more called a mountain stage. That was kind of cool.
Amazon has been a godsend because I don't particularly care to go in the stores right now. Mask or no mask. If I need something, I just order it. It's just better.
A lot of the stores are requiring
until this stuff clears up
that you have mask on when you enter, if you want to enter their property. Makes sense. They're trying to protect their workers, and, you know, so whether you agree with them or not, if you want to enter their property, you need to follow their rules. So a lot of the stores require that you wear a mask. I don't think it's a big deal. I think that we need to get ahead of this thing and move on. I think we've been messing around with it too much over here. So get it knocked out, buckle down, get it done. Let's get back to business. So I'll run the credits here and then have a little bit of extra clip as I go through Tanglebush.
Light changes and people want to
Tanglebrush Drive. Yeah, that guy in the white car was sitting there. I don't know what he was waiting
don't
on.
stay on that long, especially on that street.
That's a short light. I just moved to the side and went past him.
Sitting. They need a special invitation to go. Please, give me a break.
This is the route we take. There's like a back way to get us over to.
So you can see the sun has made its entrance.
The bike path. This route is always quiet. Turned out to be a very pleasant afternoon. I'm about probably 20 minutes from the end of my ride. Thereabouts. This is Tanglebrush.
This is Tanglebrush Drive. Very nice little road. Little back way to get back. I like this road. It's always quiet. So, look at my shoes. 5 hours in the rain for about 3. Look at those shoes. Clean. I got a little bit of specks on them, but nothing major.
Yeah, it
Clean
actually
and dry.
dried
Even
up.
though they got rain
during
on
the
without
ride.
the shoe covers, when the rain's moving like that, it didn't soak. It wasn't soaking. So it is proof that the front tire is our biggest enemy in the rain. It gets your feet wet, our front tire. And of course the rear wets your shorts and your back. So yeah, if you're gonna ride in the rain, get the right thing. I got sprayed on so much, I'm sure you saw in the film, I took my glasses off and then I realized, man, I'm not gonna be able to sit in that spray with the rooster tails. It was just, the rain was just pouring and the road had water on it. So decided to let them go and just do my own thing. It's no fun riding in a group in the wet. Everybody was getting dibs. They're gonna follow me. Everybody wanted to follow me. Everybody says that, but nobody goes ahead and outfits their bike. You know, I guess, you know, I don't know. We don't get that much rain, but in the winter, we do. We get enough to where it can interrupt your training program. And I prefer to be outside than stuck on a trainer. It's nothing substitutes for the road, any way you look at it. This helmet did its job. I really enjoyed having it on. I forgot about it, which is, you know, it's what you want. It's like, I felt like I wasn't wearing anything. Yeah, there was a point in the ride I had to tap my head to make sure I didn't forget my helmet. It's pretty light. I think my biggest thing is that besides the aesthetics, the fact that it's light is not number one. It's just the fit and the aesthetics. And then, you know, the safety factor. So, doesn't have to be super light to make the cut. This is where I turn off. I always wonder why those idiots have to gun their engines to pass a bicycle. It's my little shortcut here. Very quiet bike path. But anyway, this was what I did on Saturday. More to come. I hope you got a chance to get some K's in. Don't let the weather stop you. You have to adapt and improvise. Get your K's in.